Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody, François Letel, JDR D30. We're playing The Dark Eye. Once again, session 29 of the Orkland campaign. We don't know what's coming next. It's a mystery every time. Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. Recap, from what I remember, our group went away from the kind of necromancer's house. We don't know if it's a necromancer, but there was lots of undead around his house, so we guess that it was that. During camp, we heard some kind of a horn, and we got on patrol, and we saw some horsemen uh, dressed in black. They didn't saw us, but we saw them ride a road and go towards what we think is the house of the necromancer that we put on fire the day before. So we were worried about them, and we sent Burkai on the trek, trying to find out, kind of patrol the area to see what's going on. Came back saying that he saw some abandoned building a couple of hours from where we were. And we thought it could be a good idea to stay there for the night since we have a wounded and we didn't want to abandon him. Don't remember the name of that person though.
Wait.
It's kind of a minor.
No. I have him here. Greifas.
Dreyfus.
So I'm not sure if anyone actually asked him about his name.
And now we know. Okay, well, maybe out of camera someone asked him.
I think Maven probably talked a bit more with him off camera.
Yeah. So we got there thinking that if that place was abandoned, it was safe because it ought to be still, maybe it wasn't visited as much as it should. Well, we thought it was a good idea. When we got there, we saw that it was not just some abandoned building, but it was at the flank of a hill where an entrance was there. And Uksh was quite excited because he saw that it was a dwarven maid, probably some kind of a holy place or
there was one room in it which she thought might have been a room of worship at one point.
Okay.
But that's sorry.
Okay, no problems. No problems. I remember that he was quite excited, but I thought he had more religious connection to that. But still, it was a dwarven place, and he was quite happy. We decided to stay the night there, and at some point, Uksh, Kandar, and Borkai got to visit what was going on in that cavern construction, but I don't remember if there was a reason behind that, just outside of exploring.
Maven asked Greifas if, well, I believe maybe it was also Marbio, who asked if or rather he told that the encampment was moved from here to another entrance to a cave on the same hill. And you asked whether the caves are connected, and he said that they most likely are, but he didn't know in which direction. And so you sent Uksh and the other two out to possibly find a way into the other mine.
Okay.
Uksh and Borkai.
Yeah. Ux,
Okay, I
Orca, and
remember.
Kondar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had the night there, and they didn't come back. So
Right.
what's going on? We don't know. So
And
that's where we
you
were.
have just one torch left.
Yes, I remember that we didn't have much torch. Well, I think Maven can do some lights. We did.
Maven, uh, I can do a certain spell, yes.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, but okay. Well, we had to decide what to do, and anyway we have to wait.
Yeah, well, I think what also happened when you woke up and you noticed that they weren't there, you also found Tlitiki on the ground, trying to crawl away into the direction of the
Yeah.
entrance. After which Marbio began to snuggle with her, and you laid a blanket over the two.
Yeah, it wasn't really snuggling. I was trying to
Yeah,
warm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't too serious. Uh, yeah. So again, you're in the dwarven mine entrance, basically,
Yeah.
in this basically a small apartment.
Yeah.
Um, with the rest of the bunch slowly getting up, um, making a morning fire,
Yeah.
and starting to make breakfast. Litiki is brought to the fire so she can warm up, and she starts to move a bit more healthily and more easily.
Okay. Well, so we'll wait for the three others to come back.
Yes. We'll wait. We'll wait here for some time. Yes.
Okay. Well, since we have wounded, we kind of we can't go away very far. So, well, I can, while waiting, I can go outside a little and try to search the buildings just outside. I know that we did, but maybe just make more search about those buildings and trying to see something around them.
Okay, do you go outside then?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Um, uh, Let me recapitulate. There's the one large building that had no walls to begin with. Just basically, it's just a roof on columns
yeah. It
of
was
wood.
kind of in a round shape, if I remember.
No, that one was building which had one half of a circle wall and
Okay,
was made of stone. And inside you found a fireplace. And yeah, and I believe then you also found a crumbled down shack next to it.
okay. Okay, I'll go to the crumbled out shack and try, I try to see if there's something to find in the rubbles.
Okay. Yeah. So what you can find there at least is wood. So there's plenty of that, even though it isn't dry. So you would first have to dry it next to fire, possibly. Um, what could you find there? Yeah, what you will find is a few broken tools. Maybe you'll find a hammer and or at least a hammer with a broken handle. So if you can replace the handle, you got yourself a hammer. A couple of shackles that are not yet bent together, so you could still shackle someone up with it.
Oh yeah,
I guess that could always be useful in some way.
Well, when I find something, I just get it out from the building and put them in front and try to, pile them in what sort of thing it is. So the wet wood, I make a pile of it and the tool.
Yeah.
And when I get the shackles, I kind of, yeah, I'm wondering if this is a prison or something like that. I didn't find, I guess I haven't found any bones or something like that.
No. The only bones here are the ones that have been put on sticks in front of the entrance.
Yeah, I remember.
There were the skulls on sticks that were facing the entrance of the cave.
Well, I'm disturbed by the shackles, but I try to see if there's any key to use them.
No, they are not shackles to use with a key. They are some
Kind of.
that are they are do you say smizzied together? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of like spot welded, maybe.
Yeah, welded together, probably.
Okay.
Even
Well,
though welding is probably not the right technique, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, for my part, I stay outside and try to get the most out of it. And if I have time, I will try to repair some of the stuff to see if it can be of any use for us. That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, you will probably be able to fix the hammer again.
I write that hammer.
Using some of the wood that's not that has been lying closer to the ground. Has been a bit shielded by a bigger piece. Cutting that up and using your knife to make it into a handle.
Yeah, well, I work on that. It kind of remove my worried about the place and the companions that are not returning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What do you do, Mario?
I'm just gonna maybe explore very close to where we are inside the cave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably take one piece of the firewood and use that as a improvised torch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't hold very long, but for a quick view around, it should be enough. Yeah, what you can see is that after the cleaned entrance into the rest of the cave, you have a couple of different paths that in part lead up higher into the hill, which and some of which will lead downwards. A couple of them look like they have been created a longer time ago, and they also seem to be the more trustworthy because they the ceilings has been steadied in a better way using stone as a support structure.
Yeah.
While there are some newer pathways here that have been even to your eyes studied in a very crude manner. We're using wood.
Yeah.
Also, the walls show more signs of being worked in these parts. And you can find some traces of metal in the wall when you take a closer look.
Like iron veins, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. I don't suppose you have smithing or blacksmith or
No, I
something like
wouldn't
that.
know.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd have time to mine out minerals anyway.
No.
Well, I have now 2 hammers if you need some. I just revise my my equipment, and I already had a hammer. So.
Well, I guess I go back and check up on everyone who stayed with us.
Okay.
That's pretty much just Katiki and myself and Gruff, right?
There's still Halma,
Detrot,
Asgard, Detrot, and Maven, and Gryphas.
Gryphas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's only 3 of us that are got.
Yeah.
Well,
Halma, Detrot, and Asgard sit by the fire that you basically put into the corridor between the rooms. And currently they are heating up some water. And did you find anything?
No, not really. Just some worked walls. There's a vein of something, maybe iron. I don't know. I'm not a miner. I'll have to talk to Grunsch when he comes back. Ooks, yeah. Sorry.
Gryphas is sleeping again. I'm trying to improvise Maven.
yeah, we recognize him.
But he told me that there are some fields nearby here where the part of the slaves from the mine are working.
Mm-hmm. How far away did he say they were?
He wasn't sure because he forget that. Probably maybe an hour, he said, but somewhere to the west.
Oh. Just for my own knowledge, what kind of cutlery did we bring along with us? It was mostly things like kitchen knives and stuff, right?
Yeah, you brought. I'm not. I would even allow you to specify that now, whether you want to have brought whole knives, in which case they are ready to use, or whether you just want to have the metal part so that a handle still has to be fashioned. But of course, that's something that people can do easily, and then you would have more of that.
Yeah,
And,
but they could be used as improvised weapons too. If I decide to free a few slaves and they're still in decent condition.
well, probably half of them have a decent point to them, so you could use that. For slicing, they're probably not sharp enough. You would have to put some work into that first.
Yeah, that would be for Ooch when he gets back. He's the one who's got. He can do metalworking, can't he?
You presume so?
Yeah. True. I never actually asked him.
Well, I would say you have about 30 knives. If you want them with handles, and let's say 50 if you just have the metal part.
Just want to remember, where does those knives are coming from?
That was very early on when you had the idea when you had ideas what to take into the Orklands.
Okay.
You wanted to use or take something that you could use for trade, and you bought some knives. We just never specified the exact amount and nature.
Okay. I have a smithing, by the way, if you want to. Probably you've heard Gruff talk about smithing during a conversation, a fire camp conversation.
Well, all right. So I'll tell Mavon. Do you think we can risk going and getting a few more? Getting a few of the slaves?
From what he told me, he said whenever one of the slaves escapes, they do kill one of those who stayed. So I'm not sure that is a good idea. But
True.
maybe we could try to talk to one of them.
All right. We could.
He said because of that arrangement, the guards are usually lax on the fields.
All right. We could sneak in there and get some information. But you're right. We do need to. It's kind of an all at once or none at all thing with getting slaves with that kind of a thing going on. So we'll wait till Gruff gets back. We could use some bow support in case we have to make a getaway.
I don't know.
Do I hear an owl somewhere in the background? Or is the wind... Oh, you said you had a storm, right? Sorry.
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay.
here.
Okay, now,
I heard
I think.
something in the.
Okay, you
It,
hear? It's a real sound. No.
yeah.
Well, well, my fan did start, but I don't know if it's that
Okay.
noisy.
Oh.
It kind of sounded like an owl. Um, okay.
So I go ahead and get. I go out and see if I can locate Gruff, and
I'm not
then
that
I.
Yeah.
far.
Yeah,
All right.
you can find him there piling up stuff and
Well, yeah.
using his knife to make the hammer.
Yeah, I'm working on the handle, and trying to have the right size to fit the head and try to make it solid again. We'll have another hammer, Mario.
Hey, we could always use more hammers.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you look at what I found: some shackles, some broken tools, but I will just save the hammer. Some woods, but I don't think it will be of any use if we get out of this place soon.
Uh, yeah, I don't see what the use of these shackles would have. So I guess if you need them, you need them.
Well,
Um,
I'll keep one with me. Try to keep the one of the most functional one.
yeah. Uh, well, we decided we might. We're going to go and see if we can maybe talk to some of the slaves that are going to be working in a field nearby. Um, or, and I'm going to probably be the one that heads up and tries to sneak in to talk to them. But I do want you and Mavon to come along and stay behind a little bit in case I need to make a retreat.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I don't have any arrows. I shoot all my remaining arrows. And yeah, well, and Burkai is gone. He used to have some with him.
Uh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, I did shoot more arrows than I thought I would need in the Orklands.
Yeah.
Well, I can come. I can go. I can be of any use. Anyway, I can track. No, I can hide quite easily.
All right. Well, yeah, I'd still like to have you along. By the way, are you a Fletcher by any chance?
Fletcher, what's this? I just open a. What is it?
The guy who makes bows and arrows and stuff.
Oh yeah, well I can make my own arrows, but I don't think I have what. Well, I don't have the material. I think to make some here. While I can check that out, but I'd better be well. I
Well,
don't. I can try to make some arrows if we can. If we have some times before we start, I can make some arrows. Yeah, I'll try.
um, well, if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't.
Well, I was thinking of making some anyway, but since we have, well, it's quite dangerous. I better have some arrows with me.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah, let's go ahead and we'll do that here. And did he specify a time in which they're usually out in the field?
they are brought and on first daylight, and usually are there until midday, and then they're brought back.
Well, I suggest that we don't go there in midday. We should go there by the first light in the morning, or well,
I'd say more around 8 o'clock where they'd be actually working. You know, if we go there when they're bringing them out or when they're bringing them in, there's probably going to be more orcs there with them.
yeah.
So maybe like 8 or 9 o'clock.
Well, maybe if we go tomorrow, maybe I'll be able to make myself some arrows. I hope to find well, what's necessary to do something.
All right. Well, yeah. Until then.
Okay. So, do you want to do something else for the rest of the day then?
Yeah, I'll pretty much just how long did?
Or have the others do something?
Well, I really don't know what we would do at this point.
There's not much to do at this place.
Yeah.
But well, for my part, I really try to search materials to make some arrows.
Yeah, like flint,
Yeah,
flint and wood, stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah, you probably can find a couple of stones here that maybe you can fashion into some crude arrowheads.
Yeah.
Let's say half a d20.
Half a d20. Okay, how many?
Yeah. 4.
4. Okay. And then I just have to find some tips and some feathers. So
Yeah, some shafts, and though the shafts, in your experience, are probably the most problematic.
yeah.
Feathers, you probably even have some still. If I remember, you had a couple of ducks and so on. I'm not sure if duck feathers are useful for that, but
Well, that we'll see how I will be successful with my role with that to see if
yeah.
duck can do the stuff. But I can kind of climb around in the hills. There's probably some bird nest somewhere. I guess I saw birds flying around.
Yeah.
So I'll try to, probably I have some experience with finding traces of animals, and the feathers can be
Yeah.
something I
Okay.
can find.
Then I would say do a tracking roll.
Yeah.
Or rather, do a tracking roll. And then
Okay, no, I rolled a 20. Well, unless I just maybe.
I'm thinking tracking you're quite good at, so that
Oh no,
could still.
no. Even with a 20, I missed. My first. I have 7 points and I missed by 12.
Okay.
So I didn't find any feathers.
Yeah, you
Until
probably
probably.
found a couple, or a place where a flock of was heißt es, Tauben, of doves sits, but you can't find any way up there,
Okay.
so no way to reach it at the moment.
Probably. Probably I'm doing that up to the when the sun is setting out, or
Hmm?
well, probably I haven't found anything, and the sun is beginning
Yeah,
to go out because
yeah,
I have worked quite some time to have good arrow tips.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
You also have quite a good idea of the terrain in the hills surrounding the entrance.
yeah.
Um, and you probably also found a couple of traces. And from what you found, you also have the you found a trace or an older trace of what you would presume is a very large cat.
Ooh, well, I will report that.
Hmm.
So when I come back, I go to Mario and say, well, I haven't found everything I needed to make arrows, but I just want to say to be careful because there's probably a big cat living around there. So if we get out, we have to be careful. Those animals are quite fast and can kill you with one bite.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll definitely keep my eye out. I I don't have any knowledge nature or anything like that, uh, so I wouldn't know exactly what to expect from them. But would I kind of know what would be found up this way? I mean, probably not tigers, I guess, but you know.
Well, mm, maybe you have seen a mountain lion in a menagerie somewhere from where you come.
Hmm.
Well, from the the traces, can it be wildcats or it's maybe
You
bigger
would.
than that?
What do you have in animal law? Just the number?
Animal can
Or animal can.
six
Okay.
six.
Um, yeah, probably would say it could be a lynx.
The killings.
Mm. So
Okay.
not probably not a mountain lion and not your average wild cat. So somewhere in
Well,
between.
but Mario, usually wild animals won't come near from you. They often try to avoid you, but if you are in front of one, if they're afraid, they will attack.
Oh, I'm aware enough, but I'll keep my eyes open.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, while you wait the rest of the day, um, um, inside the rest of the provisions are uh, provided to everyone, um, but there's no sign of Gruff and the others returning for now.
Uh,
Condor, Uksh, and Borkai.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
this is bad.
I don't think they have that many torches. They're probably sitting in the dark by now, or they found another exit.
Well, maybe, but if they are in the dark, I'm more concerned about Condor because Uksh must be able to be in that environment.
Yeah, Ooks can see in the dark, but Kondar and Borkai,
Borkai.
not so sure.
I'm pretty sure Condor can't. At least I can't. So
Well, yeah, I misspoke.
Well, since they didn't come back, I just took the wet wood from the outside and got it near from our fire we made. Try to drying them up in case we need some more to burn.
Yeah, let's. Do we go? So let's put it to a vote. Tomorrow, do we continue the plan to go to the go and check out the slaves, or do we go and look for Kandar and Uksh and Borkai?
In the dark. Maybe I could try to make some torches instead of arrows.
That's what I figured we'd be able to do. We did before. We did.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
we could get some tar from the swamp area again, though we would have to cross the high grass again to get some.
Well, I get this worded. I could go there. I think I could go there with someone and try to fetch Shamtar and at the same occasion try to see if I can find something to make my arrows.
Mm.
Well, for the slaves, one day, if it's tomorrow or the day after, it won't change anything. It's more for our companions to see where they
Right.
are right now.
Yeah, we do need to go back for them. That's more important.
And we need the torches. I don't know if maybe Maven. Can you see in the dark,
I
Maven?
can slightly, but I can create an artificial light,
Yeah, I know, but
so it lasts a while. Not, it's of course more draining than using a torch, but if you wanted, we could take a quick look now.
That's tempting.
Though, of course, I could do less other things after that.
I am really worried about Kandar and Uksh and Borkai. I think we need to go and handle that situation first.
Well, if we can have some lights, I think we can go right now. Yeah.
Good. Flim flam funkel. And he snaps his finger, and well, let me just see. Yeah, that should be enough. Just checking the. Where did I have it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that should be enough. Okay. Yeah, so blue-white ball of light appears above his palm, and he steps into the tunnel area.
Okay.
All right. Let's.
First, we would have to look where they went. I believe Ook said that he would occasionally make some marks using stones where they were going.
All right. Let's look for marks. Then look for these marks and.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can do perception check. Oh, do you take someone else with you, or just you three?
Let's see. Let's just do us three, in case someone does come back, or There's no reason to have all of us get lost here. Lost in the.
It's success.
Okay, so it takes a while, but you find three tunnels, one of them leading up, two leading down, where you find next to the what's it not? Yeah, basically the entrance, where there have been marks of a number of stones that have been shaped into an arrow form, and on two of them you have a straight line put in front of the arrow, so as if the arrow points to a wall.
All right.
Whoa.
Okay. Let's. Is it? You said it's pointing to a wall.
Well, no, you have the arrow shape, and on the tip of the arrow you have a straight line perpendicular to that from a couple of rocks.
Okay. Well, it seems like we're going the right way. So there's some more rocks further along that we see.
Yeah. If you go further into one of the tunnels, you will find more of these signs, of these arrows. Do you take one of the upwards or one of the downwards? Or rather, which, in general, which one would you take?
Let's go the higher way first.
Okay, so you go upwards. That's one of the tunnels that obviously has been older and has been supported by stone structures. You move quite a while in a very smooth curving up into the hill. Find occasionally that there are alcoves in the walls, in some of which you can find the rest of ceramic pots and some burn marks on the top of the alcove.
I guess if it's not the remains of some dwarves, so some ashes.
I'm gonna go check out the burn marks. Carefully approaching them, of course.
Okay. Yeah. What you can see is you would probably presume that there, in these alcoves, you had the place to fit a lamp or something to make a permanent light here, and it's just the flame touching the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
At first, I thought it was a funeral vase.
No.
Okay, that was my first impression when I saw that. Oh, okay, not that. I was worried if we were going through a yeah, well, some kind of a cemetery.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you come to a number of points where where you find that the corridor splits, though you can usually only find stone marks into one direction.
Let's follow that.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow the stone marks.
And at the end, or rather the path where you find stones ends where you find that the corridor opened into a larger cave, and it goes from the point where you are straight down. So you have sort of a cliff here into, as I said, a larger cave, which the walls of which you can't really make out, and it has a kind of it looks like it's kind of a long slice into the rock.
Okay. I ask Maven, can you just bring down the light a little to see if we can, well, if we can perceive something in the bottom?
Wait, I just have to check something. I believe you could do a few nice tricks with that spell. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I hope I can. I don't even have LibreOffice right now, so maybe edit. No, of course not. It's binary. Damn it. Okay, I simply wing it then. Okay, so he lets the light is going out for a moment.
Oh,
He snaps his fingers again, and the blue light disappears, and you find yourself in pitch dark. And
that's
then
what I meant, Maven.
then he snaps his finger again, and has his fingers in sort of a cone shape, and out of that comes a straight beam of light, like a flashlight, basically.
I'm impressed.
And he points the light down into this chasm. You can find some remains of iron iron steps, basically, like like industrial ladders.
Yeah, yeah.
We just have some a piece of metal in the wall, something like that. Though it looks like a part of it has rusted away, but apparently there was a way down here at some point.
It's rusted, so it's wet inside.
Yeah. You have occasionally you have something dropping from the ceiling here.
Okay.
At some points, the stones are slick.
I guess it wasn't always like that. I don't think dwarves would have built something in metal in such a you know a humid place. Is
Well,
there any
if I
what?
remember correctly, then I'm surprised that these are even here. From what Ux said, these dwarfs lived 4,000 years ago.
What kind of condition are they in? Are they rusting at all?
Yeah, they are rusting. And
Okay.
it's hard to look because you have to look straight downward and not fall. But you can also see that some of the steps have broken off already.
Okay. Is there any sign of what direction they took?
Yeah, I
Well,
don't think they went down there.
doesn't look like that, no. Or if they did, they probably climbed some other way. Well, from here on, there's only basically the way downwards. While Maven points his light down and through this cave, you can also see the other side of the cave, which is maybe 100 meters on the other side. And you can see that this chasm goes maybe 20, maybe at some points 30 meters downwards, and it looks like there's a vault line here that into which you've come into. And you can also see that some points on the other wall you can see also holes in the cave walls, some of which look like they have been fortified. Others look more like natural caves.
I have a rope.
Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't probably go all the way down this way. I mean, do we see any more rocks that would indicate that they did?
Here you find again one of these marks that with a oh no, here you find an X basically in front of the chasm.
Oh. Yeah, I don't even think they took rope with them.
No, I don't think so.
So.
Well, Gruff does have some rope, you know that.
Yeah.
He has some rope swinging from his backpack, usually.
Yeah, I have my rope. So if we need to get down there, well, we have a way.
Sorry, I didn't mean Gruff. I meant Uksh. Uksh.
Okay.
But if they had used a rope, we probably would have stayed there. You know,
yeah, that's what I was about
to
to
go
say.
down. We would have unattached the rope and risking falling down with all that rusted ladder.
How are they going to get back up anyway? They're not even sure they. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they would have risked that.
Okay. The X. What does the X mean?
Probably Uk's just saying that they turned around here and went back.
We can go to, we just have to get back to the last branch and see if there are any marks of them.
Alright. We go back and let's go back to the like Gruff said.
Okay. Yeah, you follow. Maven makes again the ball of light. So you have a bit more surrounding light, and after a while you can trace your steps back to a point where you find again markings pointing down another corridor.
Okay.
Here you find that the corridor that you are going into now is one of the newer ones. So this is supported by some not very trustworthy looking wood. Also, the cave walls seem less smooth. You don't find any more of these lamp alcoves. Rather, you occasionally have some iron rings drilled into part of the support wood, which you could use to put a torch in there.
But no torch in there, I guess.
All right.
Is there a torch in there? If
No,
there is, like, take
there's-
them all.
there are only remains of torches.
Nah.
So you have some ash below them.
All right. Let's follow down this way until we find more signs
Yeah.
of them.
You come. This path leads obviously downwards, and you also have some streaming, some water that trickles down here, and you have to be a bit quick on your feet, not to fall down. So do a climbing check, though it's easier by 5.
Okay, 13, 13, 13. Wow.
Ooh, that's an unholy roll.
Yeah. Courage. No, I lost it because my
Okay.
courage is 12 or 11, so and
Yes,
I only have 1 on climb.
Miss agility by 2 points.
Okay, so you both take a point of damage from falling and scratching yourself at some of the rocks. Maven actually has the worst of it, and he actually slides a small slope down, so that for a short while you have the fear that your only light source vanishes into the darkness. But apparently the slope wasn't too long. You still there?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Do we need to go back?
No, there's more way here to go. Just be careful when you come down here.
Okay, no problems.
So,
Fine.
taking a bit of time, you can basically climb from wooden beam to wooden beam.
Yeah.
And you can follow this corridor again for a time until this too opens into a larger cave. Though from what you can see, this time the orb of light actually reaches the bottom of this cave, and it looks like it's only maybe a couple of meters down. And you do find a rope here that is attached to a wall using an iron hook.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. So, do we see any more markings? Any more stones?
Yeah, there's again one basically an arrow pointing into the into this chasm.
Okay. So, I guess we keep going. We try and climb down with the rope.
That's what we'll do, but well, don't know if Maven is comfortable with doing that. You know,
Well, it's a bit problematic, but I could, I can make the light source stationary for a while.
Or we can
So
just get the rope back and tie you on it, and we can both of us can just get you on the bottom.
you mean you let me down by the rope then, or
Yeah, yeah.
we can try that, though. You should not let me fall because if I lose conscience, I think the light will disappear.
Yeah, that's a risk, but if we both of us, we can handle getting you down. You don't, you shouldn't be that heavy.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and do that, and unless it's really nothing to uh, keep the light stationary. If that was the case, then well, we'd still
Well,
risk because you'd have to keep concentration, right, on the light.
Yeah, but I think being let down by a rope should be acceptable.
Okay, we'll let him down by the rope.
so I get the rope up, and when I have all the rope up, I try to make a knot around Iman solid
Okay.
enough for it to stay that way. I guess my Torwalian blood knows how to make good knots.
Yeah, yeah. You know your rope.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so then do some strength rolls. You can um, help each other out. So
Yeah.
if you have better roll than and someone has, well, you know what I mean.
Well, I miss my roll.
Oh, I
Right.
got a 1.
Oh,
Okay. So what basically happens is you uh, uh, Maven puts his feet on the edge and gets over and starts to walk down while you hold the rope.
yeah.
And the light starts to vanish behind the cliff face. At one point, your hands just jerk open for a short moment, and the rope uh, jumps a bit forward, and Mario just puts all his weight against it, falls down to the onto his bottom, but manages to keep the rope in his hand, and you can then secure Mario.
Yeah. Ah, that was close.
I'll say,
Everything everything okay up there?
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So you're going first, or I do?
I'll go first.
Okay.
14, 17, 12. Shit. I unless it's like easier by a whole bunch, then I didn't make.
No, it's pretty much the normal roll.
Hmm.
Okay, by how much did you fail?
Oh, let's see. I only got 1 point in climb. My first one's 14. Second one is 17. Third one is 12. Strength is 12. climb is courage, agility, and strength. So courage is missed by 3.
Well, you missed courage.
Agility is missed by 14, 15, 16, 17. 3, and strength is missed by strength. I made the strength.
Okay.
So 5.
Okay. So basically, what happens is you start to climb down and take a look down and see Maven a bit farther away than you thought, and suddenly you have this feeling of vertigo. And then you you lose grip for a moment and start to slide down the rope.
Ow.
And do an athletics check, maybe.
All right. Athletics is our body control.
Oh, body control, yeah.
I have athletics.
I actually got a good body control. Though that was a terrible roll. 17, 7, and a 19.
Okay. So you take half d6 on your hands as damage because you try to grip very hard onto the rope and it bites into your hand.
3 damage.
So your hands are bloodied when you come down. Are you well?
I've had better days.
Grab into my backpack. I think there's some clean cloth.
All right. I try and gingerly grab into his backpack so I don't get everything covered in blood.
I think you can come down now, Gruff.
Okay.
Okay, climbing roll.
Oh yeah, I have a good climbing roll this time. But it's not enough. I missed my strength. Just to be sure, by 2 points. But I have a 1 in my agility.
Okay.
Sorry.
So basically, you also lose grip on the way down for a short while and nudge against. Basically you lose your foot under you while you try to stay away from the wall and slam into it. Also body control, though. Yeah.
Body control. Missed by 3 points.
Okay. Then you take 1 point of damage from slamming into the wall, but otherwise you come down in one piece.
Well.
I already took a look around here, and there's some more markings here, and I also found in the walls over there and over there that someone has been obviously trying to get into parts of the wall. I think there was some of the ore veins that you mentioned, Marbio. I think they tried to mine here.
You mean they're recent enough to be Ooks or?
Oh, I don't think it was Ooks.
I was about to say, but all right. Well, let's keep going. They're our first priority.
Yeah. So basically, you. It looks from here like you are in a sort of a valley that ascends right to you into the darkness. and you follow this this valley for a time until you come to a place where it looks like there's been another there's a shaft right downwards here, which is surrounded by a small stone structure. Basically, it's like you have a step upwards for maybe a half a meter or something, and in there you have the shaft going downwards. And on these stone surroundings, you have some markings that look pretty much like the ones you found in the let's call it the apartment. Though the you find also stones from rough next to it that point that has an arrow pointing further down this valley and not at this shaft.
All right. Well, that's a good thing because I don't want to do any more climbing today until I go back.
Well, from what you can see, when you look down there, there's a stone. The steps of the ladder in there are made of stone, and looks like you, even if you would climb down there, you could also put your back into the wall.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll keep following the stones.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm quickly back. Or rather, it's 7 o'clock. Do we want to continue for a bit?
That's your call. Of course, it's late for me, but you know, if we can cut the game here, it's okay too. But if we
It's midnight here, so.
Well, maybe let's do 10 more minutes or so to get to a point where we have a better.
No problems.
I just have to get a cable because my wireless headphones are starting to lose power.
Yeah. Or is that the sound we were hearing? Kind of a feedback.
Wait, I will switch entirely. Okay, so you follow the this chasm for a little while longer. You find also more of these work markings on the side walls.
Yeah.
At some point, you also find human remains.
Bones, or is there any flesh on those bodies? You're mute.
Please come again.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there, human remains? Is there only bones, or these are decaying bodies?
It's mostly bone. There's still some scraps of desiccated flesh there. A couple of strands of hair you can find next to them, and apparently they didn't remove the shackles, which are still around the neck.
Okay. Humans?
It looks like a human, yeah. From teeth, you would say it's not an orc. And for a goblin, it's too small. It's not too small. It's too large.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a place to die.
Uh, well, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. After a while, you come to a place where you find another entrance into the side wall of the chasm, and another stone markings into that direction. Though what you also find is that there's fresh webbing on this side, or in uh, on this entrance.
It blocks us from going further.
Well, it's not so strong that you would say it could block you if you try to get through it. But there's some kind of web uh, over this entrance.
Okay, and webs. Does it look like normal webs?
What? Normal?
Normal.
Normal.
Ah, normal. Okay. Um, um,
There
well,
wouldn't be spiders living this deep if they were normal spiders. I don't think.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
the I would say the strands are a bit thicker than what you would find in a normal house spider.
Okay, I have my axe ready.
Yeah. Um, I will just he uses let the light vanish again for a second, and yeah, that was good. Makes again the funnel with his hands, and points upwards um, into along the ceiling, and after a while you can actually see that there's two large bodies on the ceiling here,
Had
and
to
you
be
can find
spiders again.
more webs here. Um, you can see that they apparently have also sealed off higher part of this chasm with webs. The I don't think these are the spiders we encountered before. They have smaller bodies but longer legs.
Uh, well, at least they're probably not psychic. um,
So yeah, so it's comfort. The bodies we see are ones from spiders.
What?
You said you told us that there were two
Yeah,
masses.
there are two spiders,
Okay.
basically looking like the daddy long leg kind, and just way larger.
Uh, yeah. Well, I I was hoping that it wasn't our companions webbed for a further meal.
It doesn't look like that, no.
No. Okay.
now,
Okay.
I take out my saber and keep it ready.
I have my
Okay.
axe too.
Yeah. Um,
I'm not sure if we should disturb the webs. They could
No,
break.
but we should be ready.
um,
No,
where are the
we
other
want to.
mark?
The mark basically is into the direction, into this entrance where the webbing is.
Oh,
I I don't know about spiders that much, but if we just shout, you will the spider's ears have some. The someone of you can know that.
Uh,
I don't really know, but I think the ones we encountered before only heard our thoughts. So, but then again, they are on a web, sitting on a web, which is easily moved by wind. So maybe they notice that. But maybe it's windy up there anyway.
maybe. Is there any other way through besides disturbing the webs?
No.
Uh,
So I guess it wasn't there when they got through here, and that doesn't feel good.
hmm. uh, well, I don't want to risk the spiders at the moment. Um,
So do we turn around?
well, I don't just want to leave them down here. So there's uh, maybe let's turn around and see if we could maybe find another passageway that might go around. You know how these cave systems are, or
Well, I think on the way here we didn't find any, but we could go further down the chasm.
Yeah,
all right, let's go further down the chasm.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. While you move further, you find that the walls on the side of the cave here are increasingly webbed the further you go. Also, occasionally Maven uses his light again to look upwards, and he finds more of these spiders.
More.
You also find the occasional one of them here on the ground, obviously dead, because they're lying on their backs and the eggs are clawed inwards.
Oh. I look at one of the dead ones. Does it look like it's been stabbed or something?
When you do you touch it?
No. I just look at it.
Okay. From what you can see, you don't find any puncture wounds or something like that on
They
the
prob-
corpse.
So they probably just died of old age and then fell off the ceiling.
Yeah.
Well, we keep going, or unless anybody objects.
I don't like those spiders.
Well, you can do perception checks.
All right.
69.
I fell.
7 success.
Okay. So at one point, you probably are walking a few steps in front of the others.
Yeah.
You suddenly have some wind in your face, and you can hear a chinking, it's like the sound of metal on stone. And
Okay.
then that sound suddenly fades again.
Did you hear that?
What?
I kind of a metal. No, so some metal hitting each other. Something very faint that direction. There's wind coming in here. Must be some kind of way out.
Well, let's follow the noise. Is it? Are we still seeing stones?
No, there's no more stone markings on the ground.
There were no stones there. The stones were right in the webs.
Hmm.
Yeah, you follow the direction of the sound, and as you get closer or get further along that direction, you also start occasionally to hear this. Mm. You even have the faint sensation of hearing a voice, though too distorted to recognize.
Distorted how? Is it like muffled or is it
It's reflected from too many points, and it's basically also have a bit of an echo going on here because of this large cavern. So it does sound quite deep, a sound, though you can't make out any words. Maybe with a bit, well, from the ones who went, it could probably be anyone, or none. Yeah, you come again to another entrance into the wall here, which is maybe a meter higher than the bottom of this valley. You can see that there is some. It's supported by some amount of wood, though very crudely. It's not well. In the others, you at least had the three beam structure, so you had two going up and one on the top. Here you have just something like that, just a triangle structure, so that you probably, even if you were up there, you couldn't go through standing. And you would say the sounds come from up there.
Yeah, let's go further.
yeah?
Okay, after a short climb, you stand on a ledge in front of this, and as you turn to get into there and kneel down, you look into well, who goes first?
Me.
Okay. Yeah, as you turn your head in there, you look into a half-desiccated face that's put on a stick there. Not looking better by the half light that Maven can provide.
Wow.
And as you recover from the initial shock, you can see that there are more of these heads pointing to this exit. You would say there's two human skulls, or not skulls, heads, and an orcish one.
Okay, we are outside. We are outside.
No.
We're still underground.
This is still in the tunnels, though the tunnel you're looking into has these three heads put on spikes here and facing into the chasm.
Okay, that's not pretty.
Mavon, could we have found the other Could we have found where the orcs have the orcs encampment from here?
I don't know. He just said that maybe the tunnel's connected, but your guess is good as mine.
Are the heads in a state of decay?
Yeah. You would say they are probably there for a couple of weeks.
Okay, at least these are not the heads of our friend.
No.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Hadn't thought about that.
Yeah,
But
I
there's
thought
no
about
dwarf.
it.
There's no dwarfish head there.
Could have
Yeah.
shaved in before
Yeah.
in the pint.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's keep going and let's keep an eye out for more heads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you move along this one, and after a short while, um, you first you find that you have uh, half-burned torches on the walls now.
We have torches?
There's half-burned torches here. Yeah. Looks like
Okay.
they have been have been burning and then put out,
Oh yeah,
and then
well,
put into the holders again.
I won't refrain myself. I take them all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to the other encampment, so I think we ought to turn around at this point. There's no use of us doing an assault from the other side.
No, and we're nighttime. So we don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
suddenly I realized, should I leave the torch there then? If they see that they have missing torches, maybe they will try to search for them. Well, it's not a very valuable piece of equipment, but people who are stealing torches might be for them.
Well, the heads look fresh, so maybe they put new ones there occasionally.
Who they want to, it's kind of a warning, but who would go through those caves occasionally? There's no interest to go through those caves. There's
Maybe
nothing.
maybe they fear something that is there, or we we had these signs with the birds in the swamp. Maybe Graffa said that the one we encountered was probably not the priest. Maybe he's living down there and he wants to ward some people off. So why the head would be pointed inward then, I don't know.
Okay, maybe I just want to take a look before turning around. I won't just want to see on the outside if there's something to see right now.
Okay, we'll go a little further, but I really don't want to put in a rear assault with just 3 people.
I don't feel like fighting tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you follow this this path further down,
Yeah.
and here you can hear the sounds of the metal on stone starts to increase in volume, and you can hear the voice becomes more clear to hear, and sounds like someone shouting.
Which
Um,
language?
Can I understand it? Because I know a little bit of old.
You can do well. It's no general. No, there's not. Yeah, you can try an Olawak. You can also try a Griffey check.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
That goes for everyone.
All right.
Oh, yeah, well, I can guarantee. Okay, yeah, I have that,
Yeah.
and I rolled a 20, so 20, 18, and 18. Yeah,
Okay.
I just can't make out the words.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4 for the first one. That's the Gorethi check. It's not
No,
Gorethi.
it's 3D 20.
It's cleverness, intuition, and charisma.
Yeah. It's
Cleverness, intuition, charisma. 12, 18, and 14, but I've got quite a bit in Gorethi, Thorwall, and Tolman.
Yeah. You would say that there is some Gorethi in there. It's still hard to make out words. And you would say there's a heavy accent to that. That does sound a bit like how Bokai would probably sound.
That's what I thought. Sounds like an Nork slaver.
Or it could be Borkai. How many? How many other voices?
You can't make out any other voice at the moment.
Just the clanging of.
Or all the other voices sound the same to you. Yeah. Aside from that, you only hear this clinging. Yeah. As you follow the corridor again, you come to a point where the corridor splits into 3 different directions, and you can see some light coming around the corner weakly from one of the directions.
So it's coming towards us.
Maybe it's
Well,
very light.
it looks like there's a light source, maybe 10 meters or something around that corner.
Okay. So this is the moment where you make your decision. You want to turn back now, or do you want to, or do we want to try and see what's going on?
And risking an alert. Wow.
What do you want to think a week about it?
Yeah, let's take a week to think about it. It's 12:32 heat right now.
Well, we're in a big decision.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we could stop there. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, sorry if this was a bit uneventful.
Oh well, like I said, I will edit the technical difficulty part since it will be easy to remove from the movie.
Yeah.
With with YouTube you can edit well, you have some editing tools, and I think just cutting off a part it's easy.
Right. It was all at one part too. After we got everything working, it's been pretty smooth. Yeah. Oh, it's fine. Not everything's like extremely eventful, but I did like exploring the tunnel.
Yeah, well, that feels like a real tunnel, and yeah, and it's a dangerous place since it's an abandoned place. It's all in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, Just exploring the place, it felt dangerous. So
We had some terrible rolls.
Yeah.
true, yeah, well, yeah, the climbing rolls were not that good, but nevertheless, it was easy to imagine, being in the dark with the faint
Right.
doors to guide us, and the risk of losing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
But we have torches around us, so if something goes bad, I think I will take some torches with me.
Yeah, by now you probably have 5 torches collected if you
Five?
wanted to use them. 5.
Oh yeah, I'll
So
take the five
they
torches.
are not they're not freshly new, so they probably won't burn more than maybe 1 or 2 hours.
Okay, we'll say
Um,
right
but
five
that's
used torch,
yeah, yeah.
but it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun game, good exploration session, and yeah,
Okay. Then yeah, let's see each other next week
yeah,
Um,
and have a good night.
yeah. You
you
do.
you have a good day.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
okay. So stop
See
the
you.